Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's The Drive. What's going on a Wednesday morning? Not just any Wednesday morning. It is game day. Utah Tech at home tonight. Hashtag Pack the Burns. Jon Judkins in studio to get you ready for the game tonight. Already 2 games under your belt, Coach. Let's bring everybody up to speed. 2 tough opponents. You had Oregon State out in Corvallis and then New Mexico State at home. Both for moments seemed really winnable in the second half.
Yeah, both of them exactly. We were at Oregon State, got down early, then came back with 10 minutes to go. We're down 1, and things were going well. And then just had a stretch. Dev, we've done this twice now so far this year. Is we've had a stretch of between 6 to 8 minutes where we just don't get a field goal. We just don't make a shot. And so, we're there. We're getting good shots too. It's just they're just not going in. But that's a very good team. They'll do pretty good there. And then coming home and playing our first home game. A little disappointed in the crowd showing up for that game, our first home game. But then I realized it was
Holy War.
Utah BYU game. So, nobody knows how to tape them anymore. So that, you have to. So that part was frustrating. But that's a very good team.
I was there, Coach.
There you go. Good.
I was there.
We started out pretty good, and then things were going back and forth. And then they got that big lead right before half. And then we came out the second half, I thought, that first 5 minutes and really got after it, played, and cut it to 148-47, I believe.
You're right.
And there we go. We thought, okay, here we go. And then we missed a couple threes, and then they hit some big threes that kind of pushed the game back up again. But again, I really like these guys, Dev. I think they're, they really work hard together. They're finding the open guy. We just got to hit those big time shots. And it's coming. It'll come, I promise.
This is a completely rebuilt team from last year.
Totally. Yeah.
This seems more like a typical Jon Judkins team to me. A little bit more blue collar, hard working, just get the job done. I do think you've got some work to do, and you know this probably, but the bench, it seems like you can't trust the bench yet. You're not playing a lot of players yet, extended minutes.
Yeah, and we're still trying to figure that out. Had a good talk with our guys one-on-one and just kind of told them what their role was at this time and at this place. Some guys don't know that yet, but I said, hey, some of you guys, it's wide open. You're tied or even with the guy, and I just don't know which one to play. And so our staff are talking about it, who's had a better practice or who understands this and that. And you're exactly right. We go about 7 pretty consistently, but then that 8 and 9 guy, we just don't have a great feel with that yet. So tonight will be fun. Tonight we'll see, give some of these guys a little bit more chances to play and show and do. And it's not just games; it's practice too, is what I got to see in them. But again, like you said, it's a blue collar team. They play really hard. They're very physical. I love how they share the ball. And then we got some really good outside shoots. We're shooting a lot of threes, and we've been practicing that. And man, in practice, we're making all of them. They come in the mornings early, at 6:30 in the morning and shoot. And so we're gonna continue to do that. We just gotta make those shots late in the game.
8 out of 33 against New Mexico State. That wasn't a great percentage. I thought the shot selection was better in the second half than the first half.
It was, yeah. And again, we always say open threes are better than contested twos. That's our defense. Our defense, we love teams shooting tough twos. That's what we always say. Make a team shoot tough twos. No layups, but tough twos. We call them zone twos. Tough twos are you'll win games if you have teams shooting those tough twos. Open threes, if they go in, you're in trouble. So that's the hard part defensively, but offensively, we want to continue to shoot that. New Mexico State, I don't know if you were there, like you said, they really collapsed hard, and we saw that in film. You drive it, man, they go for a steal, and they try to grab it, and those kicks were wide open, and we had them, we just missed them. I was really happy with only having 6 turnovers.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Playing a team like that, it's so aggressive. Last year, we were in the high teens, even sometimes in the 20s with turnovers. To have 6 turnovers in a 40-minute game to a team that gets into you and tries to get steals, I was very happy with that. Just came up a little short.
I've heard you say we got to handle their pressure time and time again, and you guys did. That wasn't the problem.
No, it wasn't. It was just rebounding and making shots.
Yeah,
those were and then our foul shooting. I don't. We go in those little spurts, and like I said, we don't score hitting outside shots, but we drew more fouls. We got to the foul line a ton, which is what our game plan was. We were looking at, my coaches love the stats and look at the overall thing. We're 40th in the nation right now of getting to the foul line, but we're 300 and something in percentage,
shooting like 60%.
Yeah, and so we're getting there, but we got to take advantage of it. So those are the things we've been working on. I mean, they're here shooting 50 to 100 shots a day right now through the week and keeping track of them and putting a little pressure on them to get in the gym and do that. But the guys are missing them, are the guys that I expect to make them. You know, Beon's one of our best foul shooters, and he missed 5 or 6 in that game. He got to the line 11 times, but he makes 5 out of 11. You know, we got to do that. Noah's another one that we got to get there, and he's got to be a little bit more aggressive. I talked to him yesterday of getting to the line. He shoots the heck out of it on the outside, but he's got to get 6 to 7 foul shots a game.
We were kind of saying at halftime, we need more shots from Noah. Like, Noah, where are you? Like, really efficient. He's a selfless player. He always makes the right play at the right time, I feel like. But and then at the end of the game, I mean, he came out and helped you in that first 4 minutes, made those 3 buckets in a row, but he only gets 9 shots. You need him to be a little bit more aggressive.
Well, and teams are going to fly at him, and he's got to be able to, you know, he's doing that shot fake slide step. He's doing that really well, but he's got to get to that hole. And, you know, he can really get to the basket, and he jumps. You know, he has like explosive. Sometimes you see him practice.
He can throw down.
Yeah, it's like where's that all the time? Not just once in a while. So I've challenged him to be a lot more aggressive. I think he's not scared, but just doesn't want to turn the ball over because we really drilled of, hey, let's take care of the ball. Let's get a good possession. And I got to get him to be a lot more aggressive. I thought Hunter came off the bench and gave us a big spark. You know, he's on the ground diving, then he hits 2 or 3 threes for us.
He's not shy to shoot it.
Oh, no. He averaged 30 in high school. So, you know, to shoot 30 in high school, get 30 points in high school, you got to shoot a lot of shots. So, he like you said, he can get going. That's what we love about him. He can bring some energy off the bench and so forth. But we got to get Noah. He's got to get more shots. And I thought Beon's been playing well for us. JB, Justin, he played really good in the first 2 games we played, or the scrimmage, and then the Oregon State game. Not as well in the New Mexico game. 0 for 5 from a 3 that were wide open looks that normally he knocks down. So again, I like it. Our bigs are different. We got Pavlev got eligible right before the Oregon State game. Sammy's finally coming back from his ACL tear. He was limited minutes the first couple of games, and so, you know, he's starting to get
long.
back. Yeah, he's a good rim protector. You know, that's what he does.
I thought he was going to hit you with the ball on that block shot. You were up the bench.
Oh yeah, he came flying over at me. Yeah, so he got popped in the mouth pretty good right before halftime, and you know, but he brings some good length right there that we like, and then, you know, Toby and Dallin, we've been playing them at the 5 a little bit because those guys, one, we didn't know if they're eligible. One, he was hurt. And now they're back. We're going to start putting those guys helping us a little bit more at the 4. And then also Beon can play a little bit more of the 3. So you're right that we haven't really had a lot of, you know, haven't gone really, really deep. The bench has got to be ready, and tonight will be a good test.
Well, based on what SUU did last night, they emptied the bench. Everybody on their roster played, and everybody scored but one player. Bethesda, we played them before. Mm-hmm. We've never lost to them. I mean, this is a great tune-up game where you can go deeper in the bench if the script stays the same, which it should.
And that's why we like to play them early because, again, we're still trying to figure out stuff, you know, and what in there and all that. So tonight will be, you know, we're going to challenge them to really get after it defensively. We're going to challenge them to really push the ball up and go. And like you said, it's a good game. Then we turn around and play Wyoming on Saturday. So this will be a good game to try to get everybody some minutes. You know, I think a lot of them, you know, one of our best shooters is Britton, and, you know, from up in Idaho, and he hasn't shot the ball really well. And so this game could be a good game for him to get that nervousness off and you know, knock down some shots and get that confidence back up, because he's been shooting the heck out of it in practice and stuff like that. Even our first game, our little scrimmage we had against Fullerton, he shot it. So yeah, you're right. It's gonna be a fun night. We hope everybody comes on out and supports it. It should be a lot of fun, and we're gonna try a lot of different things, no question.
Coach, I was telling Devin just the other day, we were talking on air, one of my favorite things about college basketball season is Feast Week. You know, that late November week where everyone plays their preseason their preseason tournaments and stuff. And you guys are finding your way up to Missoula this year for a 3-game set. How excited are the players to make that trip? And you're going to play some good opponents up there as well.
Yeah, you know, you can only play 31 games. That's kind of the NCAA rule. But playing 31 games, you have to have an MTE, and that's what that is. So I wasn't very happy with what we had to do with it. We signed up with that one pretty early. We were one of the first teams to sign in to go play that Montana. We've always wanted to go up to Montana State and play. We think we can do some things with the Big Sky and so forth. So we signed that contract pretty early, and then all of a sudden we didn't know who we were playing. And then they came out and said it's going to be CSUN and Denver would be the other two teams in that MTE. So that was great. Okay, let's do it. We changed our dates 4 times, it seems like, and then then all of a sudden I get a call from University of Utah. They're like, "Hey, we're looking for a game. Do you want to play?" And it's like, "Yeah," because again, like I've told you before, we always want to play in-state schools.
Sure.
I mean, we'll do whatever we can to play them. We got Utah State again this year. We got Weber this year. We got Utah. The only one we didn't really get was BYU because we got Utah Valley in our league, Southern Utah in our league. So we're trying to play all the Utah schools if we can. And so when they called, it was like, okay, how can we work this out? And the only time they could play was the 22nd. So we play 4 games in 5 days, 6 days. It's kind of a crazy. I wouldn't have drawn it that way, but when they call and they offer us what they did, we had to take it. We had to take it. And I wanted to play the Utah teams. But you're right. We're excited at that Montana thing. That could be a fun thing. The tough thing is the 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
You got to go deep into your bench, and that's where my bench has got to pick it up.
Crazy for the players, but those preseason tournaments, whether it be the Maui Invitational, the Battle for Atlantis, all those big ones, they're some of the best events for the fans because you get to see good games back to back days. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Hawaii called us when Gibb left me. He called me and he said, "Hey, I need you to come play." And it's like, "Okay, well, throw some money out there." Going to Hawaii. I love going to Hawaii, but it's going to cost some money. Let's go figure this out. But we couldn't work out a deal, so they got Pacific Life, I think, to take that last spot. So I told them, hey, keep us in mind next year because those are the same thing. Like you're saying, you're going there and you're playing three games in a row, and we want to continue to do that. The MTEs are good because you get extra games. Where normally you'd only get 28 games, and so you get those extra 3 games that don't count. They're kind of almost, I wouldn't say freebies, but they don't count towards your overall stuff. So it's kind of nice.
And prepares you for the WAC tournament.
Exactly.
The back-to-back days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, that's why we play these tough teams. I mean, I know Tarleton's lost all theirs as well, but they're playing tough teams. Going in and playing bad teams doesn't really improve or help you at all. And so we want to get their confidence up. We want to do that when you play those, but also you want to play the best teams you can. And that's what we're doing. We're playing 5 big-time games with Boise State, Utah State, Oregon State, like you said, Wyoming, there's one, and then Utah. So we're playing some really good teams that if we can take care of business, even the Oregon State one, we're right there. We know we can play with them. That's going to help us for the WAC.
By the way, that tournament, Missoula, is named after Stu Morrill.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's called
Stu Morrill Classic is what they're calling that.
Wow, that's good.
Of course, you miss Stu, right? Stu started in the late 90s at Utah State. But
he was when I was playing, he was at Colorado State is where he was. So, yeah.
Did you watch the game last night? Like, would you send some coaches up to watch that game, getting ready for this one?
No, you can't do live stats.
You can't do live anymore?
No, you can't do that anymore.
You can't drive to Cedar City and watch a game, buy a ticket like a fan?
No, but, you can watch them on, I guess you could.
Plus.
Yeah.
You could probably sneak in there, but we don't do that. We don't. But we watched it on ESPN Plus, saw a lot of things, and, this is like, their 3rd game, 4th game. So there's some stuff out there, but that team, you don't know who he's going to bring on the trip, who he's not going to bring on the trip. It's always been that, that way. But, they got some pretty good players. They got some guys that can really shoot it. And so we got to really defend and get after. That's something that we're going to take care of ourselves. That's one thing we say. Let's worry about ourselves tonight and do the things that we know how to do because we still got a long ways to go. Like you said, Deb, we're new. We have Noah, we have Beon back who played a lot of minutes, but UU seeing some time as well, and then TC is still coming off his little injuries. Just got to be a little bit more patient. He's working really hard in practice, and I like to see that. But really, those are the 4 guys that we have back from last year. So it's a whole new squad.
The Flames tonight at the Burns, Bethesda, right? Are they down in Anaheim? Is that where they hail from?
They're in California somewhere.
They're in Anaheim
They
somewhere.
They're always coming here. They love to come here. It's not a bad trip for them, and then to get this one, to have them play 2 games like you just said back to back, that's a great thing for them. If I was in their shoes, I would love to do exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't even know what conference they play in. I can't remember.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
good question.
NCCAA probably. They're in the.
We'll give out some tickets for anybody that calls in and gives us that answer.
SWS Intercollegiate Conference. I had to look it up.
I don't know if anyone's pulling that one.
The Flames. We've never lost to them.
Okay.
Well, let's hope that happens again. Yeah. No, again, I appreciate him coming in. We have two. The WAC lets you play 2 non-D1 games. That's what the WAC rule is. And you can play more, but if you play more than that, you get penalized and you get fined. And so we're playing them, and then we're playing Whittier, which is out of California too as well. And their head coach is Mark Jensen, which a lot of you guys remember. Greg Jensen, who used to be our volleyball coach here. That's his son.
Oh, really?
So both his kids have come to school here, so it's kind of fun to get him back and be around his family a little bit too as well. So those were our 2 non-D2 games. But like I said, everybody can play 2 non-2 games.
We have the Mark Pope big win for Kentucky last night.
That was huge.
You coached against him. You know Coach Pope really, really well. What were your thoughts last night as he beat Duke?
Well, he's got a lot of energy, man. That guy, I don't know what he drinks in the morning, what he does, but man, he has a lot of energy. And to rebuild that program. I mean, Kentucky, it's a little bit different, like you said earlier about Utah Valley or even BYU. It's, when you're going to a program like that, you're going to have a lot of support, money, different things. But still, he had to rebuild that whole squad because all of them left. And so, I give him a lot of credit. I sat by him at the Final Four when this thing happened. He was pretty close. He was about a row down from me. And he was on his phone the whole time, the whole game, and I go, something's going on. And then when they announced that he was that the Kentucky job was open, so I leaned over and go, you going for it? And his eyes kind of got big. So I knew he was going for it pretty hard. I didn't know his chances of getting it. Obviously, being an alumni from there was huge for him.
And a couple guys backed out first to open up that opportunity.
Yeah, I think Scott Drew and Jay Wright and some other guys, they were shooting for the moon.
Yeah.
And, I'm not saying Pope's not a great candidate, but they were going for those top, big name guys. And glad Pope got it.
Yeah, and then he had a great year last year at BYU. I mean, making it to the dance.
Yeah.
Did some good things. So I was happy for him that way. I mean, that's his dream job. That's the job he's always wanted his whole life. So, playing there and then also where it is. So he was pretty excited. And, when he got it, I congratulated him. And, I think he'll do really well. I think he recruits well. He's got now. I mean, look at his staff he has on it. It's some really good staff members and they're going to help him recruiting. So I think he's going to, I would say turn that program around because that program is always good. But it was exciting to see that how he made some adjustments the second half, like you said earlier, going smaller. I think that helped him. And then I think that the kid from I forget his last name, the kid from
Fugger,
the point guard from
Chandler.
No.
Oh.
Butler. Is it Butler?
Oh, but from San Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego State.
Yeah,
I thought
Lamont Butler.
Yeah, he's a solid. He's been in those big games. He knows how to pull them out, and he did some really good things late in the game. And then Carr made a couple of big 2-and-1s and some big shots. I like the Flag kid a lot. I think he's going to be really, really good. But they went to him two in a row. Yeah, I don't like how they had him bring the ball up that last possession and he steps out of bounds. I mean, get him the ball, but get him a ball a different way.
Let him back down.
Let him.
They're trying to make him like a point forward a little bit.
Yeah, and he's going to be probably doing that in the NBA. But I thought that was weird. The one play he had the little back down and hit that little hook, to tie it. I thought, okay, they're going to do that again. The other kid I like too is I forget his name. The other white kid he has, number 7. He's a freshman too. He's going to be good too. They're going to be good. Duke's solid. So that was a big win for Kentucky. I'm happy for them and hope that they can continue to move on.
Yeah, it was a fun game last night.
Sure.
Flag did have 26, but
2 big turnovers though. Last 2 possessions.
Are you thinking of Con Nepple or whatever his name is?
I thought it was a hard name.
They're young. Shire's going to figure it out.
Oh, they're really young.
They're going to learn a lot from that game.
And they're going to their freshmen. I mean, they're not they're not going to their seniors for the last shot. They're going to their freshmen. And then they got the Boozer boys coming in next year. So, they're gonna be solid again. They do a good job.
5 players with a composite ranking in 247 of 97 or higher in that recruiting class.
Yeah.
They're getting the top tier.
By the way, I wanted JJ Mandequick goes to Danny Sprinkle and UW.
Yeah,
you saw that
surprised
yesterday?
me. Yeah, I mean, good for him. Good for Washington. I love that. I again, everybody thought it was a BYU deal.
Yeah.
That they were going to go together and try to get AJ and JJ together.
Well, there was an offer on the table.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened there. So.
He just said he trusted in Coach Sprinkle, and it was a great relationship. I mean, it just sounds like Danny did a great recruiting job.
Danny does a good job with that. He does. He does a good job. So I'm excited to see him. I mean, I think he'll play a lot, and that to me, that's sometimes the biggest thing in recruiting is go to a place where you feel you can be an impact right away.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen with BYU's point guard this year? Is he leaving?
He's got to go pro, doesn't he?
He's
Igor
good.
Dimon?
Then you look at Hall. What's Hall doing? Is he hurt? I don't know where he's at. I don't see him on the thing. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what he's doing. That's what he should be doing. All these guys, all these athletes, you got to look at you got to do your homework. You got to look at the roster. You got to look at things of, they all think they're all going to play. I get that. You go into I'm going to play, but do your homework because sometimes you make a mistake and going somewhere you don't play.
Why wouldn't KY, Kevin Young, and BYU play you? You're playing everybody else in the state. You play UVU and SUU twice, conference games, but why couldn't you not get a deal done with BYU to play every in-state team?
We tried. We tried, and they threw some numbers at us that were not even close. It was
Lowballed you,
It was almost like we were a D2 school.
Oh, come on.
And so we told them that, but we'll continue to do that because I love to play. We've played them once since I've been here. We played them when Dave Rose was the coach. We were D2, and so hopefully we can get that back. I love to do that, and again, like I said, we call those guys first. That's the Utah schools we call first to try to schedule games, and like I said, the Weber one they're here at our place, then we go to theirs next year. So there's a lot of things that we can do. We're going to keep trying, no question.
Tonight. Get your Dixie Direct out. If you got the new Dixie Direct book, there's 2 Utah Tech free tickets in there. Bethesda, let's pack the Burns on a Wednesday night. See how the Trailblazers do tonight. Juddy in studio with us, breaking it all
Wednesday
down.
night, I heard on the way over here, there's only one NBA game, so there's nothing going on.
That's tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night.
The Jazz are the only game on the docket.
Now, what's up with the Jazz? We got to get them going. Maybe we'll just take last place so we can get a pick.
That's what I've been advocating for.
They're in the Cooper flag. Sweepstakes, baby.
But appreciate having me on, and hope we can see all you guys there tonight.
Me and Ben Lindquist will have the radio call on the fan, Rod.
Are you guys up at the top? Is that where you're at? Oh, I didn't know you're up there. That's good.
Yep. Me and Casey did the game on Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
He was talking about your 4-minute battles right out of the halftime. You guys go win that first 4-minute battle. Yeah. Casey's kind of been in a locker room with you.
He's trying to get stuff. He always asks me, hey, what'd you say at halftime? Well, he probably knows what I do at halftime, so that's not good anymore.
Challenge him.
There
you said
go.
you're going to challenge him.
Yeah, we did. We got after him a little bit, so I came out and helped.
Jon Judkins, everybody. Mr. 5-time, 319 career wins or something like that?
Who knows? Who knows?
The most winningest coach in the state of Utah.
Let's just go get one tonight. That's the whole idea.
Looking for
get
that
one tonight.
First win of the season tonight against Bethesda. And then you're on the road for a while. You don't have a home game until December the 13th against Weber State. So this will be the last chance to get out and see the Trailblazers till December.
Yeah, we got long. I said November we're going to be on the road, and I like the road to build your team. I mean, you're together on the flights, you're together on the bus, you're in the hotels. There's a lot of time where you can, especially a new young team. It's a great thing, but maybe a little too much on the road this year. But we'll figure it out. A lot of things. Scheduling's hard. It's a lot harder than people think.
But tonight at home, go see the Trailblazers take on Bethesda, the Flames. 7:00 tip off. #PackTheBurns. Thanks, Juddy. We got to get to a break. We'll be right back.